Well, hey there. This is Zeke. I'm out in my workshop, and I just spent some time responding to a guy I have a great deal of respect for on Facebook about, his opinion on President Obama versus candidate Romney. And it occurred to me after I responded that, perhaps I didn't address things fully. And that's what led me to make this video. There's a big difference between leadership and rulership. If that's even a word, I'm not really sure. See, there's a big difference between a leader and a ruler. And, the President of the United States, by default, has the title leader of the free world. And I don't think that's always correct. I really don't. So, to illustrate my thoughts on this, I'd like to compare a couple of presidents. And I'll start with President George Washington. George Washington was a leader. Now here is a man who had a vision and was able to articulate his vision to enough people that he was able to lead a large group of soldiers against an overwhelming force through terrible winter conditions in the northeast of America. Many of them with nothing but burlap sacks to wrap their feet in, didn't even have shoes or boots. Many of them didn't even have proper weapons, but they followed him because they believed in his vision. He led them across the Potomac River against overwhelming odds, and his forces defeated the British forces that were on the other side of the river. Now, that's leadership. When you have people of free will that will follow you from relative safety of their own homes through those kinds of conditions to almost certain death to become victorious, that's leadership. He was not a ruler, George Washington. And if you study the history of this country, he didn't want to be. They tried to make him king. He said, no, I'll be the president, not the king. Tried to lavish him with a ridiculously high salary, and he said, no, I don't want that salary. And many of the other founders of this country lived by the same principles. They felt that positions in government were positions of service, and they felt that their positions of service required them to convince people that the ideas that they had were the right ideas. And they were very successful at it. So let's take that up to modern day times. President Obama is a man who, he's not a leader. Matter of fact, I really, honestly don't think he has a clue what his position as President of the United States really means. He thinks he's a ruler. And you can see it because he goes out and he gives speeches and he expects people to just do what he says. He refuses to engage in any conversation or negotiation with anybody who opposes his views. He refuses to go on Fox News, which is supposedly a right-wing news outlet, which I think is laughable. He refuses to engage anybody in talk radio who has an opposing view to his. He refuses to engage in conversation or even just press conferences without his goddamn teleprompters. And that leads me to a question. Who's writing what is on his teleprompters? I think that's important because somebody's writing it. I don't think he is. Frankly, I don't think he's smart enough to write it. President Obama has never held any kind of a position. Ever. He's never, Jesus Christ, okay. Yeah, he was a Harvard law graduate. Whoop-de-diddly fuck, I don't care. A lot of people graduate law school at Harvard and, quite frankly, are some of the dumbest people I've ever run into in my life. Alright, so then, he was a community activist. Well, what do community activists do? They infiltrate communities and tell them how they should live their lives. Well, who the fuck do they think they are to go and do that? He was a lawyer for Acorn for a little while there, a community activist group. That's the only honest job he's ever held in his own life. Then he became a state senator. Never did a damn thing as a state senator, never voted yay or nay on anything. Then he became a senator for Illinois to the federal government, did the same damn thing, never said, yeah, I'm for this, or no, I'm against that. Never. Then he became a candidate for the presidency of the United States. And a whole lot of people said, why, we got a clean, articulate black man running for president, I'm for that. What the fuck? And ever since he's been president, has he led anything? No. He has tried to rule. He has tried to force, quite frankly, a socialist agenda down the necks of America. And a lot of us balked at it, but a whole lot of people were still all caught up in the, oh, ain't it wonderful, we got a black man for a president. Now there's a whole lot of you out there gonna say I'm a racist for saying this, but goddamn it, it's the truth. I don't give a damn what color the skin of my president is, but I certainly care what they do. And America is not a country that will be ruled. We need leadership. This man hasn't got it. And I will not be ruled. Well, there's my thoughts on it. You have a great day, and I hope you think real careful about what I got to say.